Pickups OTW, here in 5. If my squadmates' comms weren't being sent straight to my helmet, I wouldn't have heard them, much less understood. There was something to be said for how effectively he was going through ammo. "Fuck are they gonna land?" I shouted back, while being presented my own opportunity to burn a mag. The first couple of waves had torn through here, and anything still standing wouldn't be for much longer. "It's Jax, so..." The gunfire slowed, then ceased altogether. No way we were out of the shit yet, but a second to breathe was appreciated. "He'll probably just slam into the ground and drop the door wherever's clearest." "And where do you think is clearest?" "I'd guess this street, at least what's left of it." We met up and looked down the rubble-laden lane. As far as landing zones went, it was suboptimal. Uneven terrain, narrow, and decorated with a fair few corpses. Still, the debris was either too small to cause meaningful damage, or too big to get sucked into an intake. We sat down on one of the larger chunks of building. I assumed it was once some kind of residential from the window I nearly fell through. Out of habit, we started checking our kit. Gun was fine, if a little hot. Mags were rearranged for easier access, and all our limbs were still attached and not bleeding too badly. I let out a long exhale, somewhat annoyed at my own contentment. It felt too safe to come down from the high of combat. We weren't on the bird yet. We weren't back on base. We weren't safe. "Movement, 4 o'clock, low." I saw my visor flash as he spoke, and our guns came up. We lowered them after a second, though. Whatever had alerted us wasn't moving very much, and was way too small to be any of the hostiles we've seen so far. "Eep." It was muffled, but we both heard it and took off at a sprint. He started digging while I found a spot to get under a piece of learning debris and brace it. A minute or so later, and we cleared enough space for who and whatever it was to get free. What crawled out was 4 young Xenos, and something that looked like a 2-foot-long centipede with calico fur. I recognized the kids, or at least their features. Couldn't name the race, though. The pet was a complete wildcard, though. The oldest, or at least biggest among them, explained that they'd been looking for the centipede thing during the evac order. One of the first hits must have landed on their building, trapping them inside. We did our best to calm them down. Passing around what water we had left definitely helped. "Oh, there's our ride." Something new appeared in the visor. This time, high in the sky, and moving like an angry demon. "Betcha he bounces." "I know he will. You're buying a round, per." "Deal." Jax and his craft came into view in a sorry state. The left wing was missing a chunk and the right was smoking. Based on the entry, he'd either forgotten to use his brakes, or he simply didn't have them anymore. Sure enough, he lined up with the street we predicted, and began descending. There was a gravelly roar as the craft's belly drove into dirt and concrete. He lifted briefly to try and lose some speed. Then, after touching down again, excavated a larger piece of rubble and launched back up. He sailed past us some 20 feet before stopping, and the bird groaned in a way only human-made machines seem to. Holy fuck! As the door dropped, we were presented with a powerful sight. Easily 30 bodies crammed into the craft. Jax did light troop transport. His bird was visibly over capacity already. As the initial shock wore off, I could see that only 6 of the sardines were actual soldiers. It seemed a good deal more had been unable to evac than expected. "The hell? I heard I was picking up 2 more of you fucks." "That's roughneck to you." "No time for that shit, Liz. The panel's screaming at me for everything under the suns. I literally can't take any more." In seconds, I scanned the pack of bodies, unsure of what I was looking for. Every one of them needed medical attention of some kind. Hell, only 2 of the soldiers weren't visibly injured. One by one, we met the eyes of the other enlisted, and even through our visors, the thought was the same. There was some shuffling, and then one of them managed to hop down to us. Followed by another, and then another. Finally, the last 2 stood at the precipice. They shook out a round of rock, paper, scissors, and then the loser joined the team. Come on, you little shits, get up there. Getting the kids we'd rescued on board was easy with help on both sides. Will you be okay? One of them turned back to look at me. Its English sucked, but my translator did enough heavy lifting to get it there. Course! I knocked myself on the helmet a couple of times and flashed them a thumbs up. That reassured them enough and they finished boarding. How long to the next shuttle? An hour at least. You guys should get comfy. Jax had always been full of shit, but this time it stung a little. Then again, I knew this was the last run. It was my fault for asking. What the fuck is that? Based on his sudden shift, I imagined the unknown thing we'd rescued has scuttled up to him. I swear to fuck if this thing shits in my ship. Jax was cut off by the sound of a weapon priming. Then I'll clean it, Jax, but only if you take off right fucking now. The one soldier still aboard was using her good arm to level a sidearm at the pilot's head. Wordlessly, Jax closed the door. Before we were obstructed, the young Xeno tapped themselves, mirroring my earlier gesture, and gave me what I figured was their version of a smile. The craft struggled to take off, unsurprisingly considering its load and the way Jax had landed. Still, he got it airborne, and soon they were disappearing into the horizon. Well, suppose there's worse people I could be condemned to die with. I let my legs go slack and fell flat on my back. Movement. 4, 6, fucking everywhere. One of the guys who joined us tossed his helmet off, likely from how much the visor was screaming. I agreed and joined him before getting to my feet and priming my gun. Figures. The fuel those birds run on pisses these things off bad. Oh, fun. Liz, the shit are you doing? I turned back to my partner as he addressed me. I don't know if there's anything out there when we die, but if there is an afterlife, I want to be able to say I ran out of ammo before I got there.